Okay, here's a quick video showcasing the PiStorm and the A500 Plus. So as I was showing before, it's booting up right now. That beep you just heard meant it connected to my Wi-Fi router. Now, again, this is the HDMI. There's a cable that goes from the PiStorm to here to the HDMI. This also is a ribbon cable that goes from the PiStorm. It's basically like an external, it's like the hard drive. I can easily access without opening the case, the SD card. I can swap between different images I have for PiStorm. So anyway, here we are. Here's what I'm saying. It looks very modern. Can I get this where it's, because I'm such a perfectionist, I want to get this so it's not crooked. Let's do that. I think that's the best it's going to get. Okay. So as you can see, because you're not using, when you're using HDMI, you're not using any chip RAM. Notice I got the full chip RAM available because the graphics in this mode are not using pretty much any of the chip RAM. So it's reserved for the RGB games, for the actual games, the Amiga native games, and the graphics for that. You can see again with the PiStorm, you get 343 megabytes of fast RAM, along with the 2 megs. Look at these icons. They're beautiful. So like I said, right now, I'm online. If you look down here, it tells you you're online, and it gives your IP address connected to your router. So I set it to DHCP to my router, so it's just getting that IP address there. Shows you're online. Here, you have your dock, like in Windows or Mac. Right in the dock, you have caffeine here. You got a reboot. Karma lets you change the theme of the desktop. Your network, you have a different, got FTP, you got your Sombra, you can ping, it's all your network stuff, network info, speed test, you can sync. That's what's great. You automatically could set this up so that it automatically connects to the internet and syncs with the NTP server. So I don't have a real-time clock in this Amiga, so it's great because upon boot up, it's always getting the correct time and date and syncing, as you can see here. So there's a lot to this, really a lot to this. I'm just giving you the overall basics, but in the docking area, you have access to the themes for the desktop, network, antivirus. You can mount different devices, search, do screen grabs. You got your shell, editor, and your about, which is the caffeine about. On top, you even got more options here. If you click, oops, didn't need to do that, but you got all these menu systems. Some of them are duplicated elsewhere, but this one's really detailed. It's based upon Amiga OS 3.9 and then some. But when you set it up right here, this is where you would execute to set up your SSID and your WPA password to your router. It's just a script that will prompt you to say, you know, what's your SSID, what's your password, and then you reboot, and then you're on the network. But there's just so many different things here. It doesn't use Amiga Game Selector, but it does use iGames. If you're into the games, so this is an OCS, ECS machine. There's over 1,900 games. There's no demos. Amiga Game Selector has a lot more content, but this is the majority of the stuff that you want. Now, like I was saying, I sent you that link to the box. So right now we're in this mode here, right, which is the HDMI mode. If I went and I played a game, let's just execute a game. I'll show you. Once you hit start, you just hit the selector and it goes to the output of the RGB to HDMI. And here you go. Yeah, so that's that. F10 to exit usually. And then once you do that, you go back and you're back to this screen, the HDMI. Some stuff is RTG, meaning retargetable graphics. There's some games that you don't have to do that. There's some applications you don't need to do that. Like, for example, if you go into stuff here and you go to, I don't know, let's see, Office. That's going to be like your productivity software. So we could go to, let's do Final Writer, right? This you don't need to flip. This will just go straight here in the HDMI mode. Pretty much everything in that directory. So on the bottom here, there's these icons in the dock. You got this, which is directory opus, which is retargetable. You don't have to switch back to that. Right here, you're familiar with that. Here is eyebrows. So you have full internet access here. Again, you got to go on Amiga friendly sites. But they're all here. Full internet through Wi-Fi, through the PiStorm. So you got that. You got your IRC. Want to do your chat on the IRC to the Amiga channels. Here we go. As you can see, it's still actually in use. Looks like you got about, I don't know, 24 people here active in the chat room. Good evening. So you got that. So you got, you got all your stuff here for the internet. You got your mod players, which is pretty cool. Play all your mods. What's also nice is, so you got this MP3 player, which I'll show you if you got MP3s. I don't have any. But there's this cool utility here, and this icon that I just clicked, the last one, is radio streams. And you go to the radio tuner, and you can get internet radio all over the world. I'm gonna do my favorite. Let's find a cool Beatles channel. You go find tunes, and here's all the Beatles channels in the United States, at least.
Since 1983,
It's commercials. They'll play like for 30 seconds.
right here in America.
But it's streaming radio, internet radio, which is awesome. You can do any search. Alternative, disco, death metal, whatever you want. Podcasts.
So you can get the car you want at the price you want. Knowing Nissan is here for you.
For a limited time until supplies last, assembled with U.S. and imported parts.
There we go, Beatles. I want a copy strike. All right, so there's a lot of utilities here for the internet. You got Telnet, IRC, radio streams. You've got mail clients. It's got the browsers. It's all here. What's in this one? Just developer applications. These are music applications, MP3 players, mod players, MIDI software, music creation. You got Winamp, which is Amiga amp equivalent. You got your games here. You got Workbench games, which is pretty cool. Nice. Asteroid's pretty good faithful replica of it. As you can see, it's very fast. I mean, it's very Amiga. It's still Amiga, even though they call it CaffeineOS. There are updates. If you go here on top, you could go system, caffeine version. Here's the version. I'm currently on 9315. That's where I stayed. But if you want to upgrade above that, you go to system, auto check for updates, and it will prompt you, download files and prompt you to upload. It just makes the Amiga feel very modern. What's also nice is didn't want to do that. That's the MP3 player. But what's also nice is the movie player. You know, would be considered in the Windows environment your media player. So they got a bunch of demos here, and this is phenomenal because look at, does not stutter. Put it in full mode, full screen mode. Absolutely stunning. I mean, this is an A500. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Doesn't hiccup at all. You know, a lot of tools, you could tweak the PiStorm. I don't recommend it, but this would be the equivalent on, I don't know Linux, but this would be equivalent of this tool here. Of maybe in Windows, the task manager is just showing you your your process utilization. You know, it's low utilization right now, showing that the PiStorm is clocked at 1.8 gigahertz. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You got a sysinfo for PiStorm. It's not as graphical as the sysinfo that you're used to, but it gives the same information. So here it's showing the memory right down here. Let me zoom again. Yeah. So it's showing that the RAM. Where is it? Where is memory? It's got to be here. I'm missing it. That's volumes. That's devices. This is showing Raspberry Pi, what it's clocked at. Chipset. Here we go. It's a 2 meg chip. 348 fast. 350.5 total. Oh, wait, I'm getting it on the screen. Hold on. Right there. So, and like I said, there's so much to explore, and it really opens up the Amiga, and it's just going to be the same experience as this on an A600, except you also have, the other things that you have with the 600, like the internal hard drive, the PCM-CAA slots. So you got those extra bonuses as well. But memory-wise, chip RAM-wise, it's going to be the same as this. I love it. And it's nice if you have other Amigas, like I do, for the real classic Amiga experience. I got this 500 here with that ACA 500 Plus. But to have one Amiga that has this kind of experience alongside of what's on the left and right of me, adds a little diversity in your Amiga world, in my opinion. So I could give you this image. I can help you set it up if you wanted to keep the 600 and have something like this. It's up to you. I just thought that maybe you'd be interested to know that, because I wasn't aware if you were following the development of the PiStorm and the OS development as well for it before you made your decision to completely bow out. But I'd be willing to help, put this all together for you, figure it out, no problem. I don't care. I'm just thrilled that there's someone that's local within, a few miles from me that has Amiga gear. So, all right, that's it. If you want me to ever bring it down and I could show you in person so you could play with it, maybe you come here, whatever you want, that's fine by me. But to get the full experience, we would have to connect the Amiga to your router to get the full online experience. But, I think I give a decent overview of what this looks like. And, let me see, what is the resolution on this? I go here, and I go, nope, it's stuff. I want to go, so CaffeineOS is more like, I guess, Workbench. Is prefs. Here is screen mode. So what am I at now? 1366 by 768, 32-bit. I can go higher. If I had a bigger monitor, I would bump it up to, full 1080p or 4K. I had a Toyota. I don't know how many inches this monitor is, but keeping the 4:3 aspect ratio is important to me, especially when you're playing games because the games don't get stretched out. So this is it. Some additional hardware, some stuff you got to do, but I don't know if you have a 3D printer, but I could print this out for you. This should fit this mod should fit the case of the 600. These I got on eBay. Amazon. The cable that's connected here that's routed to the PiStorm, so that's also from Amazon. I sent you the link. This is also from Amazon here. The HDMI two HDMI selectors from Amazon, and then the RGB to HDMI. You get that on eBay. It's like $75. And then, like I said, you're gonna probably have to get the PiStorm from Europe. But that's like $135 when I did the conversion. So I don't know. You're under $300 to get this experience, and you get so much, right? You get another hard drive because it's using the SD card of the PiStorm as a hard disk. You're getting 350 megabytes of RAM. You're still using your Amiga chip RAM, and you're getting the Wi-Fi internet, which is much faster than any native Amiga hardware network solution. This thing's the fastest you can get the Amiga going on the internet with the PiStorm. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know.